Money Moves with Mem 2.0, the podcast. And always remember, gentlemen, it's a motherfucking movie. So, this manhunt in New Orleans, the 10 guys who escaped from a Louisiana prison, you know, got me really asking the question, what's going on with the black community? So we're gonna jump straight into this topic, and we're gonna check out this news clip real fast, and we're gonna cook. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Let's hop straight into the content.
To our top story now. Investigators warned that the 7 escapees on the loose could be armed and dangerous. 27-year-old Derek Groves, convicted gunman who killed 2 people on Mardi Gras Day in 2018. Groves was sentenced to 20 years in prison for the crime last October, but he had not been transferred to the Department of Corrections custody. An internal document shows officials are specifically concerned that he may go after witnesses who testified during his trial.
32-year-old Antoine Massey was being held on domestic abuse and vehicle theft charges. Massey has a history of separate escapes. Records indicate he is wanted in St. Tammany Parish for kidnapping and rape. 19-year-old Corey Boyd is accused of murdering Brandon Fees. 26-year-old Linton Van Buren was being held on a guns charge. He's accused of murder in a separate case where he allegedly shot a man in New Orleans East in 2021. 42-year-old Jermaine Donald was booked on second-degree murder and battery charges. 31-year-old Leo Tate is awaiting trial on burglary, drugs, and weapons charges. 21-year-old Gary Price was arrested in early April and was being held without bail for his alleged involvement in an attempted first-degree murder case.
Guys, with that being said, we just heard these inmates, these African American men, you know, we didn't know what they was booked for, but now we know exactly what these dudes is booked for. And my question is what's going on in the black community? You got 5, really 5 out of the 7 guys with something violent, either they underlive somebody or they seriously injure somebody, including the domestic abuse. What's going on in the black community where black men are quick to do the unthinkable like this, quick to get to the position where they have to even attempt to escape jail. Everybody is gun related. We didn't say gang related. Everybody's gun related. Trigger happy. And now it's like, okay, if those 10 dudes, just 10 random guys, just so happen to escape with each other, and most of the dudes are violent, So my thing is that I done figured out that most of the black community, in these hoods, in these poor neighborhoods where these guys be gang carrying the guns and stuff like that, are, you know, how how, how is these men made? How is the modern American black man made to not be able to walk away from a fight. You get into it with somebody, up, you might throw hands, but you ain't gonna go to the extreme of doing the unthinkable. Nowadays, everybody doing it. But let's keep it moving. I ain't gonna talk y'all head off.
Governor Jeff Landry increased the reward for information leading to the recapture of the inmates you just saw. He says he's going to cover part of the increase himself.
Jacob Bradford details the efforts to recapture these 7 men.
As the search for 7 inmates charged with violent offenses stretches into day 3, Governor Jeff Landry is increasing the reward, along with State Senate President Cameron Henry.
In addition to the FBI increasing their award from $5,000 to $10,000, I would ask that you go ahead and increase the Crime Stoppers award to $5,000. That's a $3,000 increase. Both Senator Henry and I are going to cover that amount.
Now the reward has increased to $20,000 per inmate. In the wake of the escape, Governor Landry has asked the Attorney General to investigate how the brazen escape happened from the Orleans Justice Center last Friday and who is responsible.
Look at all these fools. None of these dudes thought that they should just sit there and take the responsibility of their actions and sit there. And now, for the guys who did have a little hope and they probably wasn't going to get out in 20 years or something like that, now they might not ever get out. You never know how this one decision have ruined these guys' life from ever seeing freedom ever again. This is crazy.
He is also having the state's Department of Corrections do an audit of the Justice Center on compliance for basic jail guidelines.
9 of these 10 escapees were sitting in jail waiting to go to trial. Had they gone to trial, had they been convicted, had they been sentenced, they will most likely not be in Orleans Parish Jail, but in our custody in one of the state penitentiaries.
The governor signed executive orders in the aftermath of the jailbreak.
This executive order will mandate the commission to specify specific review triggers, including reviewing the number of judge trials and acquittal rates in criminal courts. There should be an automatic review of any judge that has a disproportionate number of acquittals, as we have seen here in Orleans Parish.
Another executive order instructs Louisiana's Inspector General to get an inventory of pretrial detainees in the Orleans Justice Center and those awaiting sentences to have them removed.
Like Derek Groves, the escapee, who pled guilty to manslaughter in October of last year and was awaiting sentencing. If he would have been sentenced by our court system, he most likely would not have had an opportunity to escape.
Louisiana State Police Leader Colonel Robert Hodges says family members and friends are helping those that escaped, but says he believes tips will lead to arrests soon.
We're confident this time that we have
family members and friends are helping these guys escape. So basically what they're saying is that these guys are so bad that they come from a bad family and their family's criminals. They don't know if their family members are helping them or something like that, but they felt the need to say that, so my question is, why make it easier for law enforcement to take your life away, for law enforcement to pursue you because you thought it was a good idea to get into an argument with somebody and unalive them? It's like there's no real men in the black community in our hoods no more. Nobody's walking away. And it's sad that these guys' life was altered. Yeah, it was altered, but at the same time, like, the mindset that they would even escape or attempt to escape and not face the consequences of their actions, shows the mindset. of these guys. But let's keep it moving.
Actionable intelligence on all 7 of those fugitives. And we hope in the coming days, if not the coming hours, that we have them all apprehended, but we need the public's help.
One person not at the press conference was Sheriff Susan Hudson. When asked where she was, the governor was blunt.
I don't know. Hopefully minding the jail.
Mayor Cantrell also spoke, saying that while this is happening, the city is still welcoming people and hosting celebrations, but to remain vigilant.
Our focus remains the same. Manhunt, we will get it done. Thank you very much.
And that was Jacob Bradford reporting.
Meanwhile, city and state leaders are calling for an audit of the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office after this jail.
This is crazy, guys. Let me know what you guys think on the topic, and I'm gonna holler at you guys on the next video. Over and out.